Hi Capricorn, welcome to your June 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Girl spread as always, and then I also pulled a couple of Oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card. So getting started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy and also represents the 6th house. And for you guys, you have a lot of energy going on in your 6th house right now. The sun just got there. There's going to be a new moon there tomorrow. Venus is there, currently retrograde. But this could just be saying that you're really focusing on your work, possibly learning a new skill as well. The North Node moved into your 6th house recently, so this could just be saying that you might be changing up your work routine in some way, shape, or form. And usually when I see this card, I get more of an entrepreneur type vibe with it. I mean, because quite literally this person's making their own money, if we look at the artwork, right? So this could just be saying that maybe you guys started to go into business for yourselves, which, I feel like a lot of people have at least been venturing off in that direction, given the financial uncertainty going on in general over the past few months. So maybe this is just a new skill that you've been trying to teach yourselves. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Two of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy here, which for you guys is your 10th house of career and social status. So what this could be saying is maybe now you're really starting to pick up some skill at whatever this is that you've been learning recently, and maybe now you're starting to question, hey, could I actually do this as my actual career, right? As opposed to a side gig. You might be considering, well, I'm really starting to enjoy this, could actually make this my primary source of income and, leave my quote-unquote 9 to 5 behind, right? That could be what's going on for some of you there. For some of you, this can be around a relationship as well, given that Libra represents the natural 7th house, but not picking up on that as much. I really feel like this is primarily around work for you guys. In the foundation position, we have the 5 of Cups. So this actually is Scorpio energy here. So for some of you, maybe this was a disappointment that you might have had around the time of the Scorpio full moon. That's certainly a possibility, which was, fairly recently. So maybe you guys are still just dealing with that energy now. And now the thing is, though, for you guys, Scorpio energy represents your 11th house. So, I mean, it's possible for some of you this could have been a 10th house hit. But maybe there's some disappointment there with a group you were dealing with, whether that was in the workplace or out of it. For some of you, this can just be one of those textbook things where you might have gone through a disappointment in your love lives, and because of that, you've really just been throwing your energy into work. And then if that's the case, what this would be saying here is, you're really not trying to look at the emotions with the moon card there and the water in the background, those both representing emotions. Just be saying that this is why you're throwing yourselves into your work so hard, because you don't want to really look at that disappointment that you guys have been dealing with. There is going to be a full moon eclipse in your 12th house, though, so it might be hard to avoid that this month. Just wanted to give you guys that heads up. In the past position, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So to me, this is just saying, given that Queen of Pentacles is actually the court card for your sign, and seeing the page, what I always point out with the Page of Pentacles in particular is that pentacle looks like it's just out of its reach, right? So this could just be saying that when it came to your finances, you might have felt like it was just out of your reach anyway, or maybe a certain level of achievement in your career, you felt like you were, you were just out of reach of getting that next promotion, for example, right? So that's what I see going on there in the past, and that might have even been what initially led you to get this secondary source of income, right? Because maybe you're like, all right, well, I'm not getting where I want to be with my regular day job. Maybe I need to look at the secondary source of income to get me to where I want to be. And maybe it's just a matter of you guys are actually getting really good at that. And now you're starting to weigh, well, do I even need this, right? Especially if it hasn't gotten you to where you want. In the present position, we have the Emperor. So For some of you, this can point to, I feel like this would be a smaller percentage of you, but this can point to maybe this is you finally getting a promotion in your job because of all the work you've put in. I'm not necessarily seeing that as likely though. But what this can point to, especially for you guys, given that Aries represents your fourth house, this could just be you guys really, again, like I said, maybe you've been working from home. You know, maybe it was because of this whole pandemic thing that it started, that you started to work from home at that point. But maybe you've gotten to a certain level of mastery and comfort with it. So now you're like, all right, I actually feel really good and in the zone working from home. I want to make this more of a permanent thing. So that could be what it's coming down for some of you. And then for others of you, this can just be saying that maybe you're reconsidering working as well, because maybe you might have a boss in your workplace who you feel like really is a my way or the highway type. They don't really listen to input, you know, so you might feel like it's a bit of an oppressive environment in that regard. In the near future position, we have the Hermit. So again, we see Virgo energy here, and you know, for you guys, Virgo is also your ninth house too. So this could just be, again, really looking at things from a higher perspective, you know, really trying to look at things in a more philosophical way, like, okay, what's, you know, looking at all of your options, basically, really putting them under scrutiny, especially if you look at, he's kind of looking down towards that Five of Cups, but also towards the Eight of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be saying that, you know, you might be asking yourself, okay, well, is it sustainable for me to continue to just throw my energy into work, rather than dealing with this disappointment energy that I have underlying everything, right? But for others of you, this can just be saying, again, you're really weighing your options, really trying to figure out, okay, can I make this work if I make that my primary source of income and ditch the other job, right? So you could just really be crunching numbers, trying to figure out, all right, can I actually make this happen or not? In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Fool. So on the one hand, this can just represent that, like I said, for some of you, I feel like this is a newer thing that you've been doing for work now. And like I said, maybe you just picked up on it really fast. But for others of you, this can just be pointing to the energy that you're embracing right now, which I feel for a lot of you, if it really is one of those things where you have the tried and true thing that you've done for years, right? And maybe you felt like you haven't gotten as far as you wanted to anyway. And now you have this newer thing that's, you know, that's come across your path where you started to work at that and got really good at that. I feel like a lot of you might be leaning towards choosing that newer option. Just keep in mind the energies are a little bit tricky to make a real hard and firm decision this month. Like I said, you have Venus retrograde in your sixth house of work and daily routine, and then you have Mercury turning retrograde in your opposite sign. So partnerships could be a little bit tricky in that regard too. So, you know, I mean, if by all means, if you're really feeling sure and you feel secure with what you're doing, as that, you know, like I said, for working from home, for example, your secondary source of income, that's one thing. But if not, you know, maybe at least wait until after that eclipse energy, given that it'll be in your 12th house, for the dust to settle there and see if it's really how you feel. All right, in the environment position, we have the Death card and the Page of Wands. So I see this as another indicator that for a lot of you, especially if you look at the Death card, it makes you think of something that's been around for a long time, right? Whereas this Page of Wands energy just has a little bit more of that Fool vibe, right? They even have the same style of dress, however interesting it may be. But, you know, seeing those two side by side, to me, I feel like, again, this is a lot of you might be leaving behind the old thing that you've been doing for a long time in favor of this new thing that you've recently found a passion for. So that's what I'm seeing there. I'm trying to see, and this could also, again, like I said, this could also point to you finally putting that disappointment behind you as well, especially if it was around the time of that Scorpio full moon. This could just be saying that you're actually going to be moving forward from that disappointment and, you know, starting fresh. For some of you, this could also represent maybe you're going to be traveling somewhere or moving, but that's what I'm seeing there. This can represent another person, but I'm not really picking up on the energy of another person in this reading much at all. I'm really feeling like this is primarily you guys this month. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Justice card. So this is the major arcana card for Libra. So again, we see that 10th house connection there with your career and social status. So, I mean, for some of you, you might actually want to continue both sources of income, and it might just be a matter of that's what you're trying to figure out, right? Like maybe you do like the stability to an extent that your regular job gives you, but now you're just really passionate about this second gig, and you're like, wow, I really enjoy doing this. So that could be what the scales represent there, where you're like hoping to find a way to make both happen. But if I was you, this could just be saying that you're hoping for some fairness in your career path as well, which is to say, you know, you prefer, yes, if your day job would give you the level of achievement that you feel you deserve. So, for example, let's say a promotion with the Emperor, right? But again, it might have just felt like it was always out of your reach with the Page of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles energy in reverse. So maybe this is just saying that you're hoping for that, but now you're getting a bit more comfortable with the idea of, well, if it doesn't happen, maybe I'll just have to go my own way and do it that way. And in the outcome position, we have the Empress. So this is a Venusian energy here. It represents, just being in a very receptive mode. This can represent some positive movement for you guys. And now, like I was saying, we do have Venus retrograde in your sixth house of work and daily routine, but eventually, of course, it's going to start going direct through Gemini as well. So maybe this is pointing to around that time. So maybe you're putting in that work behind the scenes now, and as Venus turns direct again, starts to move through Gemini direct, maybe that could be what that's pointing to there. And then also keep in mind that it will actually end up eventually in Cancer as well, which would be your opposite sign. So that could help with your partnerships as well, whether it be business or personal one-to-one relationships. But overall pretty good energy to end out on. And at the bottom of the deck we have the King of Cups. So more Scorpio energy here. So I mean, it is certainly possible that you guys might be dealing with a Scorpio, given that we see a few different Scorpio energies here. Or again, like I said, maybe there was just some significance to that Scorpio full moon. Maybe something shifted for you guys around that time. All right, moving on to your Oracle cards. First we have Breathed. There's the artwork, and the number is 29. Okay, it says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The Oracle's message: patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So interesting messages there as far as when it was talking about the element of air, and that made me think of the fact that we were talking about your sixth house quite a bit. And obviously that's an air house for you. You guys have Gemini there, so it's going to be a lot of energy going on there. And then also when it was talking about release the darkness and miracles will appear, that makes me think of that eclipse energy that I was talking about, given that it'll be in your 12th house. So, that's definitely probably going to be a bit of a powerful one for you guys, but hopefully that resonated. All right, the relationship message says, don't be in too much of a hurry right now. The heart needs time to open. Take a breath and let nature take its course. Release constriction and anxiety, for there is no need for tension. Savor the moment, and the waiting won't prove difficult. Your heart knows what the ego often resists learning. Patience pays off in deep and meaningful ways. So an interesting message there. Like I said, I didn't pick up on a huge relationship vibe in the spread. It felt like it was really more focused on you this month, but hopefully that resonated for you guys, if you are interested in a relationship dynamic. The prosperity message says you have worked long and hard, your dreams are coming to fruition, and you want to hurry things along. You are the slow one moving languidly, yet still progressing right now in a rhythm dictated by your authentic nature, the essence of your dream, and the will of the universe. Slow and steady wins the race. You will indeed win if you relax, stay the course, trust your intuition, and breathe. An interesting message there. And I do have to say, you guys do have Mars in your third house of communication and short distance travel. So maybe that's what's happening too. It could just be making you guys a little bit fidgety in that regard. But hopefully that resonated for you. And then you actually got a second card that came up from this deck, and that's Yin. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 2. So I'll take a look at that. Okay, it says the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. The Oracle's message. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. So definitely an interesting message there, and that definitely makes me think of the Empress energy that we see in the outcome. So hopefully that resonated for you guys. All right, the relationship message says, let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. So an interesting message there too, because that makes me think about, even though I was saying I didn't get a huge relationship vibe, for those of you where there might have been some kind of a relationship disappointment, like I said, maybe you guys just really been throwing yourselves into your work and really not looking at that. That could just be a message for those of you fitting in that category, which is to say, you might have to let someone in and actually let things flow naturally in that regard. So hopefully that resonated for you there. Okay, the prosperity message says this is a time when the most effective action is to allow others to show you the way forward. Observe their behavior and follow their lead. Your desire to push through must take a back seat for now. Collaborate and offer your ideas rather than dictating what must happen. Let others come to you. It's important that they feel they have power now. Another meaning is about releasing your need to have things in the form you want. How do you want to feel, basking in your success? Now allow the universe to show you the form. Yin is the sign of essence. Things may go more smoothly than you expect. So that's an interesting message there too, because that makes me think of what we see here when you guys have the Emperor in the present position, and then you end out with the Empress. So it's like moving a bit more away from that masculine side of the energy to the feminine side. And maybe that's what it's saying there would help you guys in your career as well. So hopefully that resonated with you. All right. Next we have Dove Spirit. It says be peace. There's the artwork, and the number is 21. So take a look at this one. Okay, it says, with her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within you as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty of a harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart? So, hopefully that message resonated for you guys as well. Again, that's another energy to me that points to that move from that more Emperor energy you might be in currently, and then eventually closing out with more of that Empress energy. So, hopefully that resonated. And the last thing we have is a mudra for your sign this month, and the one that you guys got is the Mahashirsha mudra. There it is there, and the keyword for it is relief. Okay, there's the info on it there if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says relieves headaches, reduces tension in the eyes, breaks up congestion in the frontal sinuses, and improves mental clarity. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of that mudra in the description of the video as always if you wanted to look into it a little bit more. We'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.